On the morning of February 11th, 1861, Abraham Lincoln prepared to leave Springfield, Illinois for Washington. The president-elect had grown a beard since Election Day and was still not quite comfortable with how he looked.
It's Hushang again. What you were hearing in the background was the DVD that was inside this box. I checked it out at the library. Since it's your first Abraham Lincoln's Day, I'm going to spend all day long just sharing things with you about Abraham Lincoln and other things. I usually on this day, I read a good book about Abraham Lincoln, or at least a part of a good book, or I listen to a talk or read an essay, because I think it's time well spent, because he's a great man, I think, and a great president. Here's another thing I did. I watched an episode of this wonderful documentary. It says there's a film by Ken Burns, The National Parks, America's Best Idea. Right there. But America has another great idea. Almost as good as that, maybe even better. It's the public library, where you can have access to the knowledge from all around the world. And see, right there, where is it? Oh, that little stamp right up there. See, libraries are supported by the tax dollars. And you can have access to knowledge from all around the world. In the past, it was through books and magazines and writings. Now you have computers that you can access the internet. And it's awesome. So public libraries are the other great idea. As good as this best idea. And while I was uploading the last video, all of a sudden on NPR, National Public Radio, and Diane Reeves' show, they were interviewing this lady that was really interesting. Let me show you her picture. See, her name is Ann Tyler. And since I worked at a bookstore, I'm familiar with her books, with the titles of them anyway. And I knew at one time she'd been married to an Iranian. And since I'm from Iran, I'd always been curious. I never heard her on radio. And I found out in this program that she's not given a live program interview in the longest time. And she did. Actually, Diane Reeves asked her, and she said, yeah, I was married to this Iranian guy for 34 years. Since that's my heritage, that's always interesting. And that's your heritage, because your grandpa, me, Hushang, skip the grandpa part, say Hushang. I'm from Iran and wanted you to be familiar with some of these Iranians. And I found out that she's Quaker, or her parents were Quakers. And I've always had interest in Quakers. So she's a very interesting lady. When you grow up, maybe you can read some of her books or at least listen to this interview. It'll be online. So all day long, we'll be chatting about Abraham Lincoln and other related things at your service all day long. This is, after all, Satara and Hushang's Abraham Lincoln's Day.